Guys, I am back, and today I am actually going to be doing my 2022 makeup empties. So unfortunately, I do not hold on to all of my makeup empties for the year. Those videos are super satisfying, and I have a lot of respect for the people who are capable of holding on to every makeup empty that they own. I just don't have the space or the patience to do that, but I do keep track of all of the makeup that I did use up. So I have a little spreadsheet where I've been keeping track of how many products I've used up over the past year. I will insert a picture of what it looks like right now, but basically this is how I keep track of what I've used up and how that's changed over the years. I'm hoping as in 2 or 3 more years, I'll have a good amount of data of how many of a certain thing that I realistically can use up in a year, such that I can use that to guide my decluttering, my purchasing, things like that. Because if I can only use up 2 mini lip glosses in a year, then I know I don't need to buy that set of 19 mini lip glosses, because it will take me 8 or 9 years to use up. And they will definitely not last 8 or 9 years. So that is what we are doing today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have liked this video, make sure to stick around. I've got lots of stuff coming up in December, and I'm very excited to be bringing you more uploads than usual and being able to dive into all of these little things that I've been keeping track of over the year as far as my makeup consumption and my panning and my goals and things like that. So jumping straight into the makeup empties, I used 4 primers this year. 2 of them were minis and 2 of them were full size. So I have a mini MAC and a mini strobe cream. So a mini primer sample, a mini strobe cream, my NARS Smooth and Protect, and my Revlon mattifying primer. So I think that realistically 2 to 3 full-sized primers every year is my category, or my limit, if I'm using them every day. Then for foundations, I used up 2. I used up my Coola Rosilience tinted sunscreen and my ColourPop hyaluronic tinted moisturizer, Pretty Fresh, the Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer. Then as far as concealer, I used up 3. I used up my RMS Uncover Up Concealer, which is still one of my favorite concealers of all time here on my life, here on this channel, here in my life. I do really want to repurchase it. I am trying some more things. I used up an Anastasia Beverly Hills mini cream highlighter thing, and then a NYX concealer. I believe it's the Can't Stop, Won't Stop, something like that. I am very nearly used up on another NYX concealer that's just a little bit too dark for me, so then I switched to an e.l.f. concealer. I think if I had just finished it, I would have a second NYX concealer on this list, but it's just too dark for me. It was too dark for me when I bought it, to be completely honest, and that's something that I now know about my makeup purchasing habits. It's just don't buy the one that looks like it kind of matches your hand. Do the one that looks like it's a little bit lighter than your hand. The only powder that I used up this year was my KVD minis. I had 2 minis. I repressed them into an old Olay compact, and that was how I used them up, since the teeny tiny mini powder situation just I can't get my brush in there, and then it just flies everywhere. It was driving me nuts, so I repressed them. So those are both out. Then I didn't use up any pressed powders, any bronzers, blushes, or highlighters. I have face palettes as its own category this year, which is what I was working on all year. Unfortunately, I did not finish any face palettes. Realistically, I did finish 2 mini bronzers in this category, but they were in a face palette, and then I have hit pan on a blush, finished up a pressed powder in that palette, and hit pan on a highlighter. Just none of these were single products in my collection. So those are unfortunately all zeros, but I'm hoping to change that next year. For setting sprays, I've used up two. I used up my Ulta Matte Mini Setting Spray and my Pop Beauty Magnet Makeup Mist. So that's, I feel like, a good number. Brow gel, I finally said goodbye to my ABH Dip Brow Gel. To be completely honest, this probably should have been an empty last year. I just was refusing to admit that it was used up because it was expansive, so I didn't want to like let it go yet, but I finally said goodbye to that one. I didn't use up any brow pencils or brow pomades. I've been working on this brow pomade that's in my brows today by the Creme Shop for a really long time, and I'll probably have no brow pencil or brow pomade empties for a hot minute. For mascaras, I've used up 6. Most of these are minis. The Bare Minerals one was a full size. The Milk, Benefit, and Pure were all minis. My L'Oreal primer was a full size, and my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes was a full size. Then for my eyeliners, I kind of used up my Cargo black eyeliner. I got it to a point where like the entire thing fell out and fell on the floor. I'm not putting something that was on the floor on my eyes, so that was let go of. And then I used up a Revlon Micro Color Stay eyeliner in brown. So you could say that this was only one use up, but I put down 2 because I'd been working on that Cargo eyeliner for a really long time and I wanted to list it as an empty. Then I didn't use up any eyeshadows, liquid eyeshadows, eyeshadow sticks, eyeshadow primers, or lip liners. My next category where I have an empty is my lip gloss, and I used up my mini of the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. I am so close on my Buxom Hot Toddy Full-On Lip Cream, but I don't think I'll have it used up in the next week, so I am gonna list that as an empty for next year, even though I did work on it a ton this year. For lipsticks, I actually used up a full-size lipstick, which is Locket & Co.'s Sun Shower, which I worked on for like a full year and a half prior to finishing it up. And then I used up my ABH lipstick mini in the shade Spice, another one that had like multiple years of progress on it before I finally finished it this year. Did not finish any liquid lipsticks or tinted lip balms, which is kind of surprising. I usually finish at least one tinted lip balm a year. I actually just decluttered a bunch of them that I didn't like, and that was my way of narrowing down my tinted lip balm collection. And I used up one nail polish, which was my Essie Top Coat. So it's interesting seeing which categories that I did better in this year versus worse than in. For example, I usually use up one eye primer a year, and I didn't use up any this year. In the past, I've used up way more lip liners, at least one. Didn't use up one this year. A few years ago, I actually had a really successful year painting lipstick somehow, and so I finished up 5 lipstick minis in a year, and this year was 2 that I had been working on for a very long time. And my complexion products, I think I have done a good job of keeping those in check. I would like to see some bronzer, blush, highlighter, face palettes moved out. And I would like to see some more eyeliners in the upcoming year, as well as lip products. But I feel like lip products, I have a good amount of all types of lip products, so I'm not going to set specific goals per category. So that is everything that I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are enjoying this video and all of the painting content that I have going up in the month of December, please stick around. Other than that, I hope you are having an awesome day wherever you are, and that I get to see you in a future video. Thanks, guys!